Hi Aquarius, my sun sign brothers and sisters. Welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. They are general readings. Make sure you use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help us all on our paths to our highest vibrational good. So for your key to the week this week, if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you, and if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit the subscribe button. Your key to the week this week is the Death card: endings, completions and culminations. What are you ready to release in all of these different areas of your life this week, Aquarius? You are releasing and letting go of what you know no longer serves you, but more importantly, what is not going to get you to where you would like to be. I think this week it's like you're getting rid of anything that's superfluous, which it's not necessarily a bad thing at all. For your actions and options, you've got the Lovers card, right? So in terms of connections, collaborations, partnerships, maybe even friendships, this week I think you're being really honest with yourself about what has kind of seen its final run and what really doesn't have a space or a place in your life anymore. Another way that this could show up is a partnership, a collaboration or a connection that you have, maybe one that you've cherished, maybe one that you've known for some time is on its way out. This is where you kind of see or feel that clean break show up for you. It's where you kind of say, okay, you know what, it's time to do something different. It's time to go in a different direction from here on in. The other thing with this as well, in terms of the options that are available to you, the Lovers card represents choice, right? And so what this means is there are options. You have options to move forward. You have options to expand. You have options to grow. There's a lot more about this week that is actually in your hands. Yes, you've got the Death card here as the key, but this Lovers card shows up in your actions and options, which suggests that this is about what you do, right? It's about what you set into motion. And what this tells us is that you have a say, right? The choices that you make this week are really going to shape things moving forward. And, you know, it's you calling the shots of what or who actually doesn't make it to your future. For your communications and conversations, you've got the Devil card. Now, this is very, very interesting, right? You've got the Lovers card, which is number 6. You've got the Devil card, which is number 15. 1 and 5 gives you 6. But here's where this gets really interesting. So with these cards, because they have a link in that way, whatever choice we make in the Lovers card, if we make the quote unquote wrong choice, we end up with the Devil. And the Devil card shows up in your communications and conversations. When it comes to your career this week, your career, your profession, your studies, it's really important that you don't cut off your nose to spite your face. Be very conscious about what or who you let go of. It's the Death card, right? So what we know is there's definitely something that needs to be released, but this is not one of those weeks where it's wise to throw the baby out with the bathwater. Be very conscious about what you let go of, what you release, and more importantly, how you release it, right? If you have to break a contract or a commitment through or via your work, no problem, right? Life happens for all of us. But if that is the case and it's something that you have to do, be very conscious about the way that you go about this. For those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, the Devil card with the Lovers card, this could be where an idea, a practice or a thought or a train or a school of thought is something that you have so ingrained that you refuse to see that it can be any different. It's almost like you've convinced yourself that there's only one way to proceed. What people don't know about the sign of Aquarius, yes, we're very progressive. Yes, we can be very Uranian in a lot of ways, very spontaneous. It's not a word, but it is now, right? We can be all of those things. and yet it's still a fixed air sign, and a fixed air sign that's ruled by Saturn. So we do like familiarity. We do like things that are familiar. We don't like, yes, we like change, but we like it on our own terms, not necessarily, sort of thrust upon us. So watch out for this week, because you could end up sort of getting in your own way. When it comes to your those of you that are employed by somebody else, it's not the ending of the job. But with the devil card here, this could be that you maybe go to your boss and say, look, you know what, I don't want to do this part of my job anymore. There's nothing wrong with that, right? What you're doing is being really honest about where you can and can't show up. But again, how you go about this is going to be everything, because if you go to your boss and say, I don't want to do this part of the job, and that's the part of the job that's giving you the most hours, let's say you're on an hourly salary, they could cut your hours, right? So you have to, like this week, I would be very conscious about the moves that you make when it comes to your work and your career. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, this week, do not rise to the bait. There's somebody that's going to try to push you or goad you. They're going to do something, and your first instinct will probably to be, to go ham, to do your thing, like to speak up, to rear up, to cuss them out, whatever the case might be. And yet, if you go down that path, remember your choices this week count for everything, right? And if you choose violence, as the saying goes, there is a possibility that you end up cutting your nose off to spite your face. So just be very, very conscious this week, especially about being overly dismissive of things, people, opportunities, etc. If you are retired and no longer working, this devil card, it might just be that this week you really are just overindulging. You know what? Fuck it. I'm having that extra glass of wine. I'm going to have the dessert even though I'm absolutely stuffed. I'm going to smoke that extra 2 cigarettes, whatever the case might be. You could just be like, if you're retired or not working like this week, I think the overindulge is going to be real. Okay, so just watch out for it. For your love and relations, you've got that Ace of Pentacles. If you are partnered, married, or in a long-term commitment, this bodes very, very nicely for your living situation. It could be a new living situation aligns up for you. It might also be that your significant other gets a new job. That's very possible at this time. A partner, they could get a new job. It could come with good money. Potentially for some of you, this might come with a change of location. They might need to move in regards to or because of their job or their work. That's very possible. When it comes to those of you that are single and looking, it's like something could begin right now, but it's very slow to start, right? It won't be, it's not going to be like 0 to, oh my God, I love this person so much. It's not going to be any of that. It's just going to be a very slow build, a very slow burn. And then when it comes to your money and materials, you've got the World card. So if you are really comfortable with the community that you live in, I'm going to give you some potentially sort of not great news. This does suggest that the living situation that you have, or the community that you live in, or the place that you live in, what's being activated here is that by the time within the next 12 months, a lot of Aquarius people will have moved. You will have changed your location, you will have changed your home. The community or the area that you're in will not be the community or the area that you're in for much longer, right? I give it 12 months at a minimum, 2 years at a max. All right, so there's this week seems to be initiating this big change for you, and for, I think it was Cancer, or maybe even Gemini had the same sort of message. Now the Death card with the World card, when it comes to, that's an interruption, right? I'm really sorry to say this, we're going to see some sort of and it will be on the wider world stage, this is going to be a technological accident of some sort. I really hope I'm wrong on this front, but it looks like there's going to be a fair few people that pass. There's a technological malfunction. There's some form of, and it will likely to be within the education sector or within a school. Again, I touch wood. I really hope I'm wrong on this one, but Tarot's very insistent. He's kind of giving that message. This is an interruption. All right, on a more personal level, when it comes to your finances and your resources, this is you no longer paying for something that you don't feel is worth it, right? This is where you're withdrawing your financial support or payment or whatever the case might be. You're cancelling something that usually you shouldn't really get away with cancelling, but you might be getting an easy out this week. And then finally, when it comes to your physical health and vitality, another way that this could show up as well, and I really hope I'm wrong on this front as well. It is possible, if you've got a grandparent or parents that are quite elderly at this point, it's possible that one of them could be passing away this week. The death card with the world card tends to show up as that. It's like the death or the passing of a loved one, but it's usually one that's very old. I'm talking, when I say very old, you know what I mean? I'm talking like 75 plus. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see sort of how this plays out. I hope I'm wrong. And then finally, when it comes to your own physical health and vitality, that world card, it tends to show up as like the structure of your bones. So I will say this could be a really good week to go to a chiropractor or an osteopath. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. As I said, your choices are really very pivotal this week. All right, take care, and I'll speak to you soon.